Your boat is broken. You just don't know it yet.
This week, our friends from Colorado join us on their first trip to the Bahamas. So we've got the full Exuma Greatest Hits tour lined up. Sandbars, snorkeling, caves, hiking, and eagle rays. But before the fun really begins, we're already deep in repair mode after the insulation blanket on our dry stack exhaust drops down, which is not exactly the kind of surprise you want before a week of island hopping. If we haven't met before, I'm Jen, and this is Dave, a Colorado couple who swapped snow boots for scuba fins aboard our Nordhavn 55. So welcome, and don't forget to hit that like button and smash subscribe so you can follow right along our journey. What are we doing?
Engine room's good. Steering's pumped up.
We are just getting ready to go through Rudder Cut again, headed towards Big Major. Gonna bypass Big Beach and that whole scene because it's a little too busy for us, but actually not any more busy than Georgetown. This is what the cut looks like going out. Always feels like we're so close, but we're really not. It's not that close. It's not. I just feel like it feels like we're gonna run right into the rocks.
What you doing in there, Jen? Sitting here in paradise today. We're in, I can't tell you the name of it, it's our secret spot. I don't want the word to get out, but it's our favorite spot. And you'll see why. It's when you throw the anchor 150 feet and you can see all 150 feet, it's a good day. So yesterday, on our just a 2.5 hour cruise, whatever, we heard a little rumbling going on from the engine. Engine indications were all good, but it was rumbling a little bit. I'm telling the people what's going on. You want to help me?
It's a mess. Big black mess.
So, after we threw the anchor and parked, did a little investigating, and our muffler blanket has fallen. Most boats have a wet exhaust. So, raw water comes through, cools the engine, mixed with exhaust, shoots out overboard. That's most of your boats. A lot of trawlers have a dry exhaust, keel cool dry exhaust, dry stack exhaust, which is what we have. There's pros and cons of both, each of them. Most people are 50-50. You have a preference for one, go for it. But our main engine is a dry stack exhaust. Our wing engine generator are, wet exhaust. So we have both. We have a sealed coolant system in our John Deere. Put in 11 gallons of antifreeze coolant. It circulates around the engine, gets hot, and then to cool that, it goes out to the radiator. It's actually on the side of the boat. It's called a keel cooler. So on the keel, on this outside of the boat, is a big radiator, and the seawater keeps that cool and then comes right back into the engine. That's how we keep the engine temperature the way it is. Exhaust goes right up to the stack and out the very top of the boat, 40 feet above the boat. From the engine, it comes up through the galley, through the captain's room, up the stack, and out. And then right here in the captain's room is a big muffler. Obviously the muffler is there to dissipate heat and noise, and I'm pretty sure the muffler's okay. It might have a hole, might need to get replaced, but we're not in a position to do that. But what happened was, what the noise and the ruckus was, we had a big ruckus, is that the blanket itself fell down. So that's the muffler inside the captain's closet. You can see there's access to the back of the boat deck over there. And way up at the top, it attaches up there. And it came down. So this should go all the way up there. Now, some things. I talked to some professionals about this. Okay, so I'm just not making this stuff up. I'm not flying by my seat of my pants here. Got a couple options. One is we're going to be island hopping for the next couple of weeks, short runs, hour and a half, 2 hours. So we're not going to be going on any overnight long cruises or anything like that and heating that thing up too bad. What we're going to do is we're going to try to pull that blanket back up, get some tape it up as much as we can around that muffler and see if that holds. Is that the right thing to do? Well, that's what we're going to do. We might wind up getting to Nassau and having a blanket flown in. Those things are pretty much custom made, so one has to be made. It could be a couple of weeks to have one made. Might be able to find one, but I doubt it. And then I'm going to need some help to install it. That's just not what I do. Most people just don't replace the blanket. You replace the muffler at the same time. So generally speaking, you pull the muffler out and replace the muffler with the blanket. So I don't want to replace just a blanket and then find out next year I got to replace the muffler too. And I can't replace the muffler and the blanket here in the Bahamas. It's just, that ain't gonna happen. I could drive around on the wing engine. That's an option. Wing engine's doing just fine, and we do a nice 4.5, 5 knots on that. So not really worried about that if it overheats or something starts rattling around or anything. So we're good there, but I would like to tape this blanket together so the engine's working, or the muffler's fine, and we can, you know, island hop around until we come up with a plan B or C. That's what we're doing today, and Jen has offered to help me out because what happens is it creates the absolute biggest mess ever. All the debris and rust particles off that muffler are stuck inside that ceramic blanket, and as we start moving that blanket around, it all falls straight down into the engine room. I spent an hour yesterday just vacuuming up that. I've tried to cover up and we're trying to make some like big old dustpans out of cardboard boxes and stuff so all of it gets trapped, but I'm not sure if that's going to work or not. So we just might be making a big old mess today, so wish us luck.
You can see all the icky dust flying.
My problem is it's just a really bad angle for me.
Yeah.
But I think I'm almost there. As far as... All right, teamwork. This is a two-person job. And right now we're getting some... Oh,
Trying to get the tape.
let me,
You get this piece.
step over, I can show them your handiwork. So we got the muffler blanket up, pulled it all the way up as high as we could, and now we're taping it together. And so we got 1 or 2 more pieces of that, and then out here is the protective heat shield on that. And if you notice these holes right here, you basically get some metal wire and you lace it up like a shoelace, and then you lace it up and you actually lace it into the top and the bottom, and that holds it all together. Sorry for my voice, but we just sucked in a bunch of...
Well, I don't know what the hell it was.
We don't know what it was, but we just sucked in a bunch of stuff.
Bad stuff.
Fiberglass, carbon, ceramic.
You need to get masks and stuff.
And I know we're supposed to have masks. We don't have any. Probably have a couple of bandanas I should have put on, but it's a little too late then. Your boat is broken. You just don't know it yet. Heard that one a bunch of times. All right, so talking about the dry stack exhaust here. So here's the engine, and there goes the exhaust. And you see how it's all nicely covered in this beautiful blanket, and then this safety wire, sort of like shoelaces, right? You got the hangers to keep all the weight off of it, and then it goes right up the stack. And let me show you the rest of the path. Comes out of the engine room, and then it comes right up there through the galley. I don't think there's any access to that. And then comes through the, we call this the captain's room because it's right off the pilot house, and it comes up to there and then this section in here is the muffler, and this is where the blanket fell, and that is our finished product. So there's two sections. You got the insulated ceramic blanket. We put that on, duct taped it up, tried to hold it up as best we could, and then we got this heat resistant layer. Once again, taped it up the best we could, and then that goes up into the stack. Once again, we're talking to professionals on this. We're about to start up the engine, listen for any exhaust leaks, see if there's any rattles, anything's completely torn off the flanges or anything like that. But I shook it around, it didn't move. That's a good sign. I got my hands wrapped all the way around it as best I could, but generally speaking, when you have these little holes in a muffler, they're near the top of the flange where I can't reach. So we're just gonna go with it like this, and if we have any other problems, obviously we'll get some professionals come in here and take a look at it, because that ain't me.
Is everything normal after we started the engine?
Yeah, we're gonna let it sit here for a couple of minutes. And like I said, most of all our cruising, we're just gonna be island hopping for an hour and a half to 2 hours, so it's not gonna get really super hot back there. And I'm pretty confident in your tape job. So we'll check it constantly. So now that'll be on our watch list with engine room checks. We're going to constantly check that muffler. Just make sure that blanket hasn't come down any, make sure nothing else is melted. I told Jen earlier that one of the biggest complaints on a lot of these, the way they know that something's failing in the muffler, is electronics on the mast start going out, like radar and antennas, because they start melting. We've got crap all over us. And it's all over the engine room. It's going to be weeks of cleaning up that engine room.
Soot everywhere.
But right now, everything's running
worst.
just hunky-dory. We wouldn't notice it in here anyway.
Yeah.
And the temperature is just now starting to get warm.
Okay.
But I'm happy.
All right. It's a good thing we were able to get that muffler fixed, because this week we've got some very close friends visiting from our home state of Colorado. Let me introduce you. This is Chuck and his lovely wife, Jerry. They're hardcore Broncos fans, and their normal wardrobe usually includes ski hats and parkas. But this week, the winter gear is staying home because we've got other plans. They've never been to the Bahamas or spent a week cruising these beautiful tropical waters by boat, so we had a pretty classic and very beautiful Exuma itinerary lined up. They landed early that morning, and after getting settled, we headed to a nearby sandbar at low tide to enjoy a sunny afternoon out on the water. Naturally, the week kicked off with Dave showing off his new drone. It made for some great photos, and honestly, we had way too much fun with it. Then it was back to the boat so the boys could take turns on the E-Foil while the girls claimed our rightful place in the sunchill. Dave's been putting in the reps, hoping to show off a bit, but Chuck rolled up with his game face on. The next morning, we went looking for a tiny, quiet beach to relax on before making our way over to Big Beach on Big Major Cay.
Hey, don't bite my knee. Hi, buddy. Oh. Feed me.
Ready?
Very good. Okay.
These swimming pigs are one of Exuma's most famous attractions, and while I'm personally not exactly their biggest fan, they are undeniably entertaining. I'm pretty sure this little piggy doesn't need any more lettuce.
Pig.
You guys are so cute. Look how cute you guys are.
That guy's aggressive, man.
Our next stop was the famous Thunderball Grotto just around the corner. While this place is still beautiful, it's feeling the wear and tear that comes with being such a popular tourist stop. We wandered out back and snorkeled our way around the island, where we ran into this sweet little turtle just minding his own business.
can pet him.
Try.
He's got a couple sucker fishes.
Hi, buddy.
Hi, friend.
Where'd they go? And of course, we were greeted by dolphins off the bow to escort us into Cambridge Key, our next stop. We are going for a hike. We're going to go see a cave. It's a beautiful anchorage. The walk from the beach to the cave isn't long, but it's a mix of rough limestone, thick brush, and surprisingly lush vegetation. One minute you're in the sand, and the next you're winding through greenery with flashes of that insane blue water off to the side. It feels rugged, a little hidden, and in flip-flops. Honestly, not our smartest decision. Between sharp rocks and uneven footing, this was not exactly ideal hiking gear territory, but the views are worth it. And by the time you reach the cave above the shoreline, it really does feel like you found some secret hideout. The cave itself is more of a rocky overhang than some giant dramatic cavern, but the setting is incredible. And perched above the Exuma Sound, it feels like a natural lookout carved right into the side of the island. And that's probably why the legend stuck. Local lore says pirate Max Gustavita used this spot as a hideout, watching for ships and maybe hiding treasures in the rocks. But there's no hard proof, it's just a legend. Next, we made our way to the rocky Dundas, a cluster of rocky sea caves tucked inside the Exuma Key Land and Sea Park, known for its illuminated stalagmites. Inside the caves, the light bouncing off the water makes this whole place just glow. The rock walls echo every sound, and it feels cool, quiet, and way more dramatic than you'd guess from the outside. But outside the Dundas, there are some beautiful coral formations and lots of fish, but the current was just a bit too strong for us. This poor elkhorn coral and others were just not at their healthiest. We have gotten to an anchorage off Cambridge Key, and Dave is finally able to stand up on the E-Foil. But I think he forgot what boat we're on, because he's way over there. And all the boats are cheering for him except us because he's too far away. Chuck has mastered it in like 2 days, so Dave's pissed off.
I wouldn't say massive.
Coming straight for us. Let's see if he can stay up the whole time.
You're good, you're good.
They're cheering him on. There's a good ton of people on that boat.
There are.
And for the wipeout.
You got it! No, don't wipe out!
There we go. Get up. Get up. I'm gonna crash. Get
No,
up.
you're not.
Just don't hit your own boat. Suck it, Chuck.
Woo! Right.
Nicely done.
Wow. Good cruising.
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
On a day like club. On a day like this.
Yeah, they're cheering you on. That's awesome.
Hilarious.
I need a bourbon. All right, one last run because, you know,
Well, then Chuck said he's ready to go again.
I'm gonna go back out.
Oh, good. I'll come back around and get you. This is my last one.
I gotta try one more time before
I
the
hit
sun
the
goes
sandbank over there.
Did you really?
Oh, is that how you fell?
That's how I fell over there.
Oh.
Ow.
That's funny. I was just going to tell them about it.
This is a 36-inch mast.
Yeah.
You went too shallow.
Yeah.
The dog wants to join you.
Dog likes him.
He's gonna save you. Bring his front foot closer to the center of the board. Like if you look, his front foot's way out on the left side of the board. Closer to the center of the board.
Okay.
And then cheat his back foot up. Once he's standing, you want to move it up.
Yeah.
Everything on this whole thing is up in the front of the board.
Yeah.
A lot of his time, you know, the board's going like this, like
Okay. Yeah.
nose up.
Mm-hmm.
So you get up and then creep up.
He was almost going to hit their boat.
He just wants people to see him so they can cheer him on.
I'm pretty sure. That's
They
That's
do.
Dave. He wants an audience.
Yeehaw!
You got it.
Yeehaw!
Whoa. Next up was the aquarium just north of O'Brien's Key, and this place absolutely lives up to its name. It's one of the best known snorkel spots in the Exuma Key Land and Sea Park, and since it's inside the protected no-take zone, the reef is packed with fish. Add in a little tour boat chumming, and let's just say these fish are not exactly shy. Of course, when there's turtles, I have to go find the green turtle that was hiding from us. Now it's time for the Warderick Wells Coral Garden. We dropped in expecting the usual, maybe a turtle, a few fish, the standard underwater crowd. But instead, we're welcomed by a pod of 7 beautiful eagle rays gliding past us. And for Jerry, it was even more special because she'd never seen eagle rays before, either diving or snorkeling. Talk about setting the bar obnoxiously high. We have a baby nurse shark under our boat. Usually we get the big ones, but this one's a baby, so I gotta go check it out.
Scoot up! More forward! Just pull it back and hold it. Scoot up! Scoot forward. Forward, forward, forward. You're not planing yet.
Scoot up.
To top off our guests last evening in the Exumas, there's nothing better than a little friendly e-foil competition and clinging on to this beautiful blue water before heading back to the snow. Thank you for being here. If you enjoyed coming along, be sure to like, subscribe, and we'll see you the next time.